Okay, good morning. I call this special meeting to order on Thursday, October 9th at 8:04 a.m. We have all three board members present, along with the township trustee, the administrative assistant Sue, and the fire chief Shane. First item on the agenda, in your packet, we need to fill out our W-4 forms, which we should all have completed. We have the minutes that are from our last meeting, and I just need a motion on that.
I got a motion to approve last month's meeting minutes.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mark's got a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Have no opposes, so that passes. The other thing in our packet, we have our monthly bank statements for September, which need initial. We currently have no old business, so we'll be moving to the new business, and we'll have the township trustee explain for the special meeting today.
So I received a call, Sue received a call here in the office a week ago today, that would have been October 2nd, from Judy Robinson. She is our budget field representative for the Department of Local Government Finance. She said that we needed to hold an emergency board meeting to adopt our budget. I said we've already done that. We did that in September. She stated that unfortunately the public was not properly notified that budget adoption meeting was going to take place. A lot of back and forth conversation with Judy. So just so the public and you guys are aware, we as a township do not publish the public notice for budget adoptions. We do for the public hearing concerning the budget and for the public hearing for the capital improvement plan, both of which we advertise in the paper, we advertise at the office in the township. So we as a township board, township trustee, we have done everything we were supposed to do correctly. This all stems back to being able to adopt the budget. So obviously in years past, with two board members being on the volunteer fire department, this governing body could not adopt the budget. It had to go to county council. With Jason stepping down from the fire department, that allowed a quorum of board members to be able to adopt the budget. So we did not need to go to county council this year. I notified the Department of Local Government Finance back in May when we did our pre-budget workshop. A lot of documentation we upload to the DLGF in preparation for having our budget meeting with our budget field rep. It was very well documented that the board would be adopting our own budget this year versus having county council continue to do that. What it boils down to, indirectly, I finally got an answer. There is a list that has taxing units that don't get to adopt their own budget. We were on that list. We should have been removed from that list. That is a list that's maintained by DLGF. We did not get removed from said list. Therefore, when the DLGF posted the budget adoption dates for all the different taxing units on the Indiana Gateway site, it just had NA next to our budget adoption date. Obviously, that means the public was not notified. So we had to call a meeting, obviously staying within the 48-hour rule. I contacted Joe individually saying we needed to have an emergency board meeting to get it adopted. Obviously, nobody here from the public as well. So that's where it's at. It was at no fault, and I want to be clear. It was at no fault of the township board, the trustee. This was a procedural error, 100% by the DLGF. So there will be obviously 2 recordings now with the new law that went into effect July 1, live streaming and archiving all board meetings. There will be 2 budget adoption meetings on YouTube. So I wanted to be clear in what and why we were actually having an additional. Everything we did the first time was correct. Unfortunately, that did not get advertised correctly to the public. We did verify once that date was set for today. We notified Judy, the budget field rep. She made the proper change in Gateway, and then Sue and I both verified that it was correct and actually published, so we wouldn't run into this again. This will be something they've already, I asked what the DLGF was going to do to prevent this in the future. They did advise they were reviewing their internal controls to try to prevent it from happening again. We will take extra steps in the office going forward to make sure that the state, the DLGF, is doing their job correctly for what pertains to us and our township. So that is why we were here. Sorry to have an additional meeting, but it was required. I did ask, well, what if we don't want to have another board meeting? What if the board says no, we've already done it once? And she did state that our budget would be continued. So obviously we've got some very small increases for next year's budget. Took some decreases in some areas, so we didn't want to have to operate under this year's budget again next year. So that's why we're here.
And we have record of the publication, correct?
Correct. It was properly notified. That goes for budget adoptions. That is published on the public side of the Indiana Gateway website.
Correct.
So it'll just be obviously another budget adoption for Mark. Obviously doesn't get a vote because Mark's still on the volunteer fire department. So it'll be the two non-fire department members voting to adopt the budget.
Okay. With having the proper publication, I opened the public forum officially. Nobody's here, and I officially closed the public hearing at this time. So with the next thing, we just need to adopt the budget that we had already adopted before. So in this case, I need a motion to adopt the 2026 budget as it was previously in our budget meeting that we had.
Can I make a motion that we pass the budget on 2026?
Okay. Second? Do you want to second that, or you want me to?
Hardly.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't, that's right, sorry. I second that. All in favor of the 2026 budget, say aye. Aye. And we have one that has to abstain from that or say nay. So it does pass 2-1. So next item is other discussions. Do we have
Anything from the fire department?
Already discussed.
I'll just update brush truck wise. Obviously, brush truck is here. Made the decision to work on getting it upfitted to get in service. Obviously, we have to take the old one out of service. I had a discussion with Shane. It doesn't make sense with the current meteorological conditions right now. With how dry everything is, they actually had a combine fire yet last night. Combine and field fire at 5 West and 180 South. So it's just so dry. Seems like there's a combine fire almost every day right now, somewhere, in the central Indiana region. So we're moving forward on getting that laid out, what we're going to do, getting parts sourced, things like that. Shane had asked about putting a radio in the ambulance 22. It does not have a mobile right now. So I'm going to order a new refurb, actually, mobile unit, a refurb Motorola, to put in the new brush truck, and we'll take the old Harris out of the brush truck and put it in ambulance 22, so they'll have a mobile in there. A little bit added cost. It's still going to be well within budget that we've laid out. I did get an initial quote so the new truck is 4 inches wider than the existing brush truck, which means the flatbed would have to be widened. I got a quote from Scott Little Metal Fabrications on North Washington. Does a lot of work on fire trucks, actually, diamond plate, things like that. He was right at $3,000 just to widen it and get it over on the new bed. I asked Shane to tried rearranging some trucks in the station. I was looking at it, and they flip-flopped 2 engines in the brush truck that are currently in the South Bay. It swapped those over to the North Bay, and the tanker and the engine over to the South Bay. It did create more room. So still looking at potentially using the bed that's on the truck now, putting the skid unit in it, and building a custom block rear bumper. Rushville has something similar. I would like it to be a little wider. It's an option. So just still working through that, working on getting the last 2 quotes. I'm getting multiple quotes for upfitting. That way we can be the most cost effective. But I want it to be safe. You know, that safety is number 1. So it will start going like gangbusters here. My goal is January 1 to have it in service. That's kind of the plan. Obviously from there, we're handing out until harvest is done. We really can't get going other than upfitting when that time comes. So that's where it's at. We're still moving right along. Has everybody gotten pictures of it?
I think so.
Okay, I'll throw some to you guys. It's really nice. Rides like a chuck wagon right now because it's a 1 ton with nothing in the bed. If we do keep the bed on it and go that route, probably have a spray liner put in it just to protect the inside of the bed. It makes sense. You know, I didn't order that as a factory option because at that point we didn't know, and I hated to spend the extra. It's about $500. I hated to spend that extra money if that was going to happen. So we're moving along. It'll be nice. You know, I want it to be safe and functional for the crews. So that's where that's at right now, and that's all I've got.
Anybody else have any discussions? Questions, comments? Okay. Our next public meeting is going to be November 18th at 5 o'clock here in the Township Trustee's office. Nobody else has anything, I should make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.